Bill Anderson, you pitched the story, real emotional, about the kids and pot. What do you got?
This is 2-year-old Vivian Wilson, and in the picture she's smiling and she's happy, but unfortunately she has several seizures per day. Her parents say that she needs a special strain of medical marijuana that's not available to her in New Jersey because of the laws. So I chased this down. Chris and I actually went to Scotch Plains. We met little Vivian. We spent some time with her and her mother. Can you teach me how to play? And her mother was adamant. She told us the people who envision her daughter sitting around smoking a bong just don't understand what medical marijuana really is about.
They just think of this kind of idea of like reefer madness and, you know, Vivian, I don't know, sitting on the couch with a bong or something, watching Teletubbies. And I mean, that's just not what it is. You know, she can take it by syringe or by spoon and it wouldn't get her high. There's trace limits of THC.
The legislature did pass a bill that would allow the special strain of medical marijuana that Vivian needs, but it's sitting on Governor Christie's desk. Thus far, he won't sign it, and he's implied that he's not going to. Meanwhile, Vivian has been hospitalized 20 times in her 2 years of life. She wears an eye patch because light and patterns and other things can lead to the seizures, and her development's been stunted by the legal prescription drugs that she's on.
Look at Vivian's medical history, look at all of her ER visit records, watch us measure her food to the 10th of a gram, every single meal, every single snack, look at all her medications, address her seizures, and then you can criticize my decisions. We would never put our child in harm's way, and we really believe that this is the best option for her.
I have to say, I've tried marijuana myself, and if you want to make this little girl feel better, then I don't think marijuana is the right idea, because marijuana can make you feel like crap.
Let's be clear. This is a special strain of marijuana. She's not going to be smoking it. It can be injected. It can be eaten. So let's kind of get away from the 2-year-old passing the joint.
Yeah, absolutely. There are about 483 compounds in cannabis. THC is one of them. The one that helps fight seizures is CBD, and it's less psychoactive.
Let's put this back in perspective. So we're talking about taking the next step to have more pot with kids. Isn't this sending a terrible mixed message?
What's the message that you're sending? I'll do anything to make sure my child is safe? Like, we're talking about stigmas associated with marijuana. Medically, there's nothing that demonstrates it's any worse than the 7 prescription drugs that she's been on since she was born. 2 years, 7 drugs. She needs it. It's going to make her safe.
Except it's illegal. Except it's illegal. Don't give the baby marijuana. Give it a prescription that's appropriate. It's like saying, let's get the baby drunk.
Here's the side effects of the illegal medication, Topamax, that she's taking right now. Numbness and tingling, fatigue, taste change, weight loss, and difficulty with concentration, attention, and difficulty with memory. That's Topamax.
We have decided that medical marijuana is safe. So what Governor Christie should do is he should then let a child have it under a doctor's supervision so that she's safe using it and isn't taking all these prescription drugs that could harm her health.
Look, we're all praying that this little girl gets better and gets the help she needs, but do we really know enough that we're going to go down this road on giving pot to kids?
2 things we need to clarify. One, medical marijuana for children under a doctor's supervision is not illegal in New Jersey. They have already passed that law. It just has to be supervised. The second, this child in 2 years has been on 7 different prescription drugs. So to say that she hasn't tried other alternatives is just not true.
One of the major reasons marijuana is illegal is that plenty of studies show that you can suffer all the same side effects Hank mentioned from those prescription painkillers.
The study that came out of Oxford 2 years ago says that smoking pot is safer than riding a horse.
The law is the law, and right is right. Just because something's against the law doesn't mean it's wrong. If these people are good parents, and they sound like they are, you're going to get this little girl what she needs, and this is what she needs.
So, Kate, you pitched this story in Belleville. A man is dead at the hands of the police. A lot of questions. What do you got?
Right, Bill. As soon as this happened, everyone here at Chasing New Jersey said this is going to be a really important story, but we haven't seen any reports on it in 5 days. I feel that if this had happened anywhere else but here in Jersey, where we just don't have that many media outlets, this would be on the cover of the paper and the main story on the local news every night of the week. Last week, the father of this Belleville family attorney, Dante Cespedes, was shot 24 times by police in his own home. Now, police say that he was drunk, he was angry, and attacking them with a kitchen knife. But come on, 24 times. I chased this down to Belleville, where his neighbors and his widow are saying that it was completely unnecessary. I spoke with a neighbor who chose to remain anonymous.
They should be locked up. And I wish the same thing they did to that guy, I wish somebody would do to them.
The prosecutor says that this all started over a domestic dispute with his wife, Judy Breton, earlier that day.
So 24 shots. Who didn't hear 24 shots go off in the middle of the night, right? Hank.
Be that cop that did not pull the trigger and then have to answer to your brother cops about why you didn't squeeze the trigger on a guy coming at you drunk with a butcher knife.
This is what we should expect from cops. If you call a firefighter, they're going to bring a fire hose. If you call a police officer, they're expected to bring a gun.
Wait a minute, don't they report on domestic violence all the time?
Bill, well, we do know. One officer was there, and he didn't feel as threatened as the other because he didn't fire at all, apparently. We do know that the wife explained to them what was going on, so they had some concept of what they were walking into. There are a lot of questions here, but you look at this and you have to ask, why 24 shots?
Every report that came out says this guy went at the boys in blue with a steak knife. And when you do that drunk, you're opening Pandora's box.
So, Veronica, you continue to chase this story, the derailment in Paulsboro. Lots going on. What do you got?
Well, that toxic train derailment, I've been chasing it ever since it happened. It released this toxic cloud of vinyl chloride into the community. Now, the NTSB has been holding hearings, and they have questioned if first responders should have been more prepared that day. This graphic shows that early estimates predicted a danger zone that could cause death within this red area.
Wow.
And to make matters worse, many first responders arrived at the scene of the derailment without functioning equipment.
There's a battery system that goes in this. That battery system was dead.
I actually tried on some of the gear that's similar to what they had to put on that day that wasn't working. And what he said to me is this equipment is their lifeline and that they expect it to be ready for them when they arrive on the scene. And sadly, a lot of it wasn't.
This is what firefighters, I don't care what make you carry, this has to be maintained and put together properly at the ready.
So, Chris, you were there shooting this with Veronica, but you're also a first responder. Has that happened to you?
That's right, Bill. You know, firefighters, a lot of times, we train a lot of hours, and we rely on our equipment. And if we go into a situation with hazmat materials and we can't rely on our equipment, we have a very serious problem.
I mean, wait a minute here. You got this major corporation, billions of dollars, and they're not responsible?
Yeah. This is just another situation where a large corporation gets away with not paying for the responsibility of a spill. And for these first responders, like Chris, they don't necessarily know the chemicals or the compounds or what they're even dealing with because sometimes they don't even have to disclose it.
This is like cracking down on a small local fire department for not knowing how to deal with a nuclear weapons strike. It's stupid. It's all wide of the mark. The blame here belongs on crumbling, craptacular infrastructure. A 100-year-old bridge that malfunctioned. The NTSB needs to look in the mirror and start asking more uncomfortable federal questions.
No one here is talking about how dangerous vinyl chloride is. I mean, it can cause a very serious form of pancreatic cancer. It's the same stuff that's used to make PVC pipes, furniture, upholstery. I mean, this is a very dangerous chemical and should be taken seriously.
But it's an important chemical that has to be transported through our local town, so it's got to be there.
But isn't that exactly what we're doing? I mean, we're all acknowledging how important it is. We're all looking at the problems that could come from it. What we're debating right now is how do you fix it? How do you make sure it never happens again?
High-speed chase. Meg, start in Hamilton.
So an ex-cop from Hamilton lost his disability pension. Why? Because he was seen able-bodied running around in a reality TV show called Bear Swamp Recovery behind monster trucks. So after a formal review by doctors of his agility, he will no longer be receiving that disability.
How can you hide something like that? You're on TV.
Veronica.
Well, last week I told you the story of Angela Clementi, a woman from Tuckerton, New Jersey, and how she's fighting to bring justice to innocent victims who were killed by mobster informants. Well, today at a press conference, she's one step closer. She announced that the victims' families she's been fighting for, including the family of Patrick Porco that I told you about last week, they are going to get the opportunity to sit down with Senator Charles Grassley of the Senate Judiciary Committee, discuss their cases, and try to get one step closer to justice.
And Veronica, there's one more victim in this case now. They just announced that the key witness of the Boston case has been found dead, and so you can just see how much he's fighting.